Streets of Rome welcomed Marcus back as a hero, though the reception felt hollow. He had returned not only with scars from battle, but with the knowledge that the real war had not been fought on the battlefield. It was in the Senate, in the halls of power, where men like his father pulled the strings. He entered the Curia with a new sense of purpose. His name had weight now, not only because of his birth, but because of the blood he had shed. As he walked the marble halls, he felt the eyes of the senators upon him. Some were filled with admiration, others with envy. It was the latter that concerned him most. One senator in particular made his intentions known. Decimus, a man whose influence in Rome's political sphere was as vast as his ambition, approached Marcus with a smile that never quite reached his eyes. "Marcus Tullius Varro," Decimus said, clasping Marcus's arm in greeting. "You have returned victorious. Rome is proud." Marcus bowed his head slightly, knowing that in Rome, every compliment carried a hidden barb. "I only did my duty, Senator," Decimus chuckled. The older senator was cunning, always 2 steps ahead in every conversation, every move. And Marcus, though wary, couldn't help but be impressed. Yet as he climbed the ranks, he began to see the rot beneath the surface. Rome, for all its grandeur, was falling apart from within. Senators like Decimus played a dangerous game, using men like Marcus as pawns in their bid for control. Alliances shifted with the wind, and Marcus soon realized that he was not the only one being courted by powerful men. Despite his growing unease, Marcus could not turn away from the promise of power. He had tasted victory, and now he hungered for more. But ambition, he would soon learn, came at a steep price. It happened quickly, too quickly for Marcus to fully comprehend. One moment, he was poised to rise further in the Senate, and the next, he was a marked man. Decimus, the man who had once guided him through the labyrinth of Roman politics, had turned against him. Marcus had grown too powerful, too independent. He was no longer a pawn, and that made him a threat. The charges were fabricated: treason, conspiracy to overthrow the Senate, collusion with Rome's enemies. But in Rome, truth mattered little. It was perception that ruled. And Decimus, with his silver tongue and vast network of allies, had woven a story so convincing that even Marcus's closest friends dared not defend him. Marcus stood in the forum, surrounded by jeering crowds as the accusations were read aloud by a grim-faced praetor. His hands clenched into fists at his sides, his heart pounding in his chest. The words swirled around him: traitor, conspirator, enemy of the Republic. How had it come to this? Only months ago, he had been celebrated, hailed as a hero of Rome. Now, he was to be condemned as a traitor. Marcus traveled far from the heart of the Republic, making his way to the provinces. But as he moved through the outer territories, he encountered others who had suffered under the Senate's tyranny. Disillusioned soldiers, slaves who'd been promised freedom but found only chains, and peasants crushed by heavy taxes and corruption. In the province of Hispania, a rebellion had begun to simmer, led by a former Roman centurion named Aulus. Marcus joined their ranks, not out of loyalty to the cause, but out of a need to strike back at the system that had cast him aside. He became one of them, a leader among the rebels. The fire of ambition still burned within him, though now it was fueled by a different purpose: vengeance. Under Marcus's leadership, the rebellion grew bolder. They raided Roman supply lines, ambushed legionaries, and disrupted the local governor's operations. The rebels, once a ragtag group of desperate men, had become an army. Word of their defiance spread through the provinces, and more disaffected men joined their cause. But as the rebellion grew, so too did the violence. What had begun as a fight against Rome's corruption became a bloody struggle for survival. Marcus found himself making decisions that weighed heavily on his conscience. He ordered the execution of Roman officials, some of whom had been guilty of little more than following orders. He led raids that left villages in flames. The line between justice and cruelty blurred with every passing day.